Yes, guys, this is an update on my 25 by 25 cube nano planet tank, and these these are the things that I'm gonna update you with. The glossostigma is really growing really well, and I hope I could show you a picture of the first day I planted these glossostigma. Here it is. Ting! There it is. So now it's 3 weeks, guys. 3 weeks since I planted them without a CO2, okay, without CO2. And this is a cryptocorinne, I don't know what variety that is. It's like a brown. And then the rotala is there. I don't know which rotala as well. And I don't know what this plant is. I don't know if you could see it. If you know what the plant is, this plant, that plant, please let me know in the comment section. And yeah, the problem with this tank is that for 3 weeks, it started with like a week after I planted it. I set up the tank. There was algae, and as you can see, there's algae there here in the filter. That I think that's green spot algae. And then we also have algae in the glass over here at the front. I don't know if you could see it, but there's algae there, right? You can see that. That's green algae. And also here, I don't know if you could see it also, but there's algae there, especially at the back. But I started to put in the shrimps, and the shrimp is there. There's a shrimp there, the shrimp at the back. And I didn't know at the time that cherry shrimp, they say, do not really do a good job with algae. Amana shrimps are the ones that really do that. And then I placed autosynclus there. Autosynclus, I really was hoping it would do its job with the algae, but I also, even if they're not doing a really good job with the green spot algae, maybe with the softer algae they do, sorry, but yeah, they're not really eating the green spot algae. So after a few weeks, like 2 weeks after that, that's when I added the nerite snails. Sorry, I bumped the glass with my phone. So there's a red one here, nerite or nerite, I don't know. That I bought 3 of them, and these guys are really doing their jobs. Like this, the length of the main intake of the filter, that part had algae earlier, but then this yellow brownish guy is doing his job. And then we also have a white one there, and there's algae at that part. There's algae. So yeah, they're really doing their job. And I don't know if you noticed in the other videos, maybe I wasn't able to video them as well, or to shoot them, or to film them, but these glossostigma had like green spot algae on them, like really it was becoming worse. But then they're cleaner now, because the nerite snails were like grazing on them on top of the glossostigma. But the bad thing that I noticed about the nerite snail is that they tend to uproot not too well rooted plants or stems or runners. So this was this was already taking root earlier, but then now it's dislodged because I saw the white nerite snail grazing on the algae there. But there was algae here, like this one, like this, the green algae, it was present here, but now look, it's clean, right? So there's no more algae. This one is still there because I think this part of the glossostigma runners is just more securely rooting, and the nerite snail could not dislodge it anymore. But yeah, this was also taking root really well. You see that the root is just going down, and it looked like this. But then after the nerite snail passed through it, it became dislodged. And also that part there, you can see the white roots, right? You can see the white roots there. But I like it. Also, I'm gonna prove to you that nerite snails are really doing their job. This one that I'm focusing on, this part, like near the stem, near the stem of this plant, cryptocorini, it had green algae there, like green spot algae, and it was congregating. It was creating like a big spot. But after the nearite snail grazed on them, like on the leaf, they're gone. They're really clean now. Especially this green. I don't know if you could see that. This green leaf of the same plant was also covered with like diatoms or green spot algae, but now it's becoming cleaner. And I'm showing that to you because those that's just the update, right? Um, just telling you that if you have algae problems, there are solutions. I didn't want to put chemicals into this because it's just a very small tank, and uh, a drop of a chemical could ruin the whole thing. So I'm afraid. So I just opted to do the natural thing, which is using animals like shrimps and otocinclus and nerite snails. So there's also that one snail there. I don't know what that snail is. So if you could tell me, guys, what that snail is. This came with the plant. So I killed the other ones, but I left one to survive, and it has been doing well, but not as well as the nerite snail. So there. By the way, to update also, I don't know what happened to the cardinal tetra. Maybe it's because of the very bright light, but they became very agitated and very, like, I don't know, afraid of me. That's why they're congregating at the back. Before, even if I'm filming like this, because I'm really like, close to the glass right now, they're not really afraid. I don't know what happened to them. Just one big water change changed that. So now I'm gonna make one small water change, and at least this guy is not really that afraid, right? So that's the update. And by the way, the reason why I also updated, the second reason is, aside from updating you guys what's happening in the tank, I am now going to create a DIY CO2. It's DIY CO2 using sugar and yeast, and I'll be showing that to you later on, installed here. I'm planning to install it here at this side just so I can see it clearly, because the tiny bubbles will be very, very good to look at. I'm gonna do a DIY, and then I'm using glue gun and a 1.5 liter bottle, and I hope I'll be able to film it properly. I'll be showing how I make that. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to see what happens to the glossostigma if I do put even a DIY CO2 or CO2 injection, even though it's DIY. I just want to see the difference. I hope I could see a very big difference so that I could invest in not in. I'm also thinking about the Neo CO2, but the Neo CO2 ran out of stock, so I'm doing the next best thing for DIY, and that's yeast and sugar. Those of you who have tried it, comment down below and tell me if that really made a difference. But I'm hoping it would really make the glossostigma really carpet really well after, like, hopefully a month or two with the DIY CO2, and maybe hopefully get some pinks from the Rotala. I think this is an Hra, but I don't know. It's Rotala. It's supposed to have pink ends or pink tips. So I don't know. Please comment below if you know what that is, what the name is. So there, I hope. But the thing is, with the DIY CO2, I won't be able to to stop it. So I need to transfer it to another container, because it's going to be continuous CO2, right? And if we do that with the lights off, then the whole system will be filled with CO2, and that would risk the fish suffocating with CO2. Yeah, so there. And I'm gonna stop with my I'm gonna stop using, once I install the DIY CO2, I will stop using this liquid CO2, just so I could see the difference. Okay, I really want to see the difference using this liquid. I think it really made a difference also. It helped the carpet do like this with this liquid CO2. I believe that. I mean, yeah. But when I install the DIY CO2, I won't be using this for a while, right? And also, I was using a Flourish liquid fertilizer, this one. It's in the ref. After I made that very big, sorry, I bumped on the glass again. Maybe that's why they're, sorry, maybe that's why they're afraid, because I keep bumping on the glass, which I know. I stopped using this because maybe this is also feeding the algae, right? The green spot algae. So this is Flourish, and I'm just gonna use this once the algal bloom is stopped. Okay, so there. I hope that you guys like this one. This is my first ever tank, a planted tank, like a legit planted tank with more than one, two, three, like 4 plants, like a serious stone. I had a plant many years ago, but it was like a very beginner's tank. It was a big tank, but you know, nothing compared to this. So I hope you guys like this, and if you want more content like this, please let me know. I wanna show you my hobby, right? So there. Thank you.